We've now discussed pessimistic concurrency control, optimistic concurrency control. Now we are looking at multiversion concurrency control. Let's have a look at the schedule on the slide. Is this schedule serializable? So can we transform this into an equivalent serial schedule? This read here, the read of x, has to be after this write, otherwise we do not read the updated value. This read of y has to be after this write, otherwise this read will not read the updated value. So this schedule is not serializable. We can neither execute T1 before T2 nor the other way around with the same result for the database. However, let's assume that we have copies of all data values available. So what about this schedule? So this is basically the same as the schedule on the top, but now instead of reading the updated value of y, we read an old value of y, the value at the time when the transaction T1 has been started. Now the transaction is serializable. Now we can first execute T1, because reading this old value we can also do before the write of y, and then we can execute T2, and T2 will still read the updated value of x written by T1. So these two schedules have the same effect on the database. The idea of multi-version concurrency control is to keep multiple versions of the data. Which version of the data a particular transaction sees depends on the chosen isolation level. The most popular isolation level for multi-version concurrency control is snapshot isolation. In snapshot isolation, each transaction sees a consistent snapshot of the database, namely the snapshot at the moment of time when the transaction has been started. This means that read-only queries never need to be blocked. They might see an outdated but still consistent version of the data. They see the version of the data at the moment of time when the transaction has been started, so it is as if the entire transaction would be executed instantaneously in the moment of time when it has been started. So with snapshot isolation, read-only transactions don't need to lock anything. Transactions conflict only if they write the same object. So in pessimistic concurrency control, we only need write locks. In optimistic concurrency control, we only need to keep track of the write sets and not of the read sets. Of course, multi-version concurrency control also has disadvantages. First of all, keeping around multiple versions of the data requires extra space and management overhead. Moreover, the update transactions still require concurrency control. Snapshot isolation does not provide full serializability, but it avoids some of the most common anomalies, namely dirty read, unrepeatable read, and phantom rows do not occur. However, in snapshot isolation we have what is called write skews. Snapshot isolation is the isolation that is used in the Oracle SQL server, so Oracle does not support full serializability. Let's have a look at the write skew anomaly that can occur in snapshot isolation. Let's assume that we have a constraint x plus y is smaller than 2. Initially, both x and y are 0. Now we run two transactions in parallel, so they are started at the same time. So because of snapshot isolation, they both see the database state at the moment they've been started. So both think that x and y are 0. Now, T1 increases x by 1, so from 0 to 1, it now thinks that x is 1 and that y is 0. The constraint is still satisfied and T1 commits. Likewise, T2, because of snapshot isolation, thinks that x and y is 0. T2 increases y by 1. It now thinks that x is 0, y is 1. The constraint is satisfied, so it commits. So both of these transactions commit, and both of them are allowed to commit because they do not conflict. They don't have an intersection in their write sets. T1 just writes x, T2 just writes y. There's no intersection in the writes. However, the end result is that now x is 1 and y is 1, so now this constraint is violated. And the reason is that with snapshot isolation, these two concurrent transactions don't see each other's updates. And if their write sets do not intersect, then they are allowed to both commit to the database. With full serializability, this cannot happen, because with full serializability, the effect on the database should be the same as a serial schedule, so the same as running T1 and T2 after each other in an arbitrary order, so first T1 and then T2, or first T2 and then T1. But either way, they would see each other's update, and they would not commit if the constraint is violated. So with full serializability, the write skew anomaly cannot occur. Also in snapshot isolation, this write skew anomaly cannot occur if this constraint that we have here is a check constraint that concerns a single row. So if x and y are attributes from the same row, then this cannot happen, because the finest locking granularity are rows, and then these two transactions cannot write the same row at the same time. So in conclusion, these write skew anomalies can occur only for complex assertions that involve multiple tuples.